Shalom. We are the Isupk, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're the Commanding General Yohana, and we're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. I'm Officer Kawan out of Florida, and this is our Lashawan Qadash class, Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. Tonight we're going to go over a few things. First, we're going to go over the regular Paleo and the Assyrian Hebrew, the alphabet. We'll go over every letter in the alphabet of the Paleo. We'll write it in Paleo and which is the ancient, and in the Assyrian, which is the Greek. How the fake Jews write it, and how you will read it right now in the Torah, and how it's rewritten right now. All right, so we're going to start out by going through, and let me salute to the sisters and the brothers first. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah, to the brothers, to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatah by Shem Yahweh Shun, to the sisters. So here we go. We're going to get started with the Lashawan Qadash. So again, today we will be covering the alphabet, and we'll also go over the numbers. I'll also go over the origins of where each one of the letters originated from, where Adam got the idea for each one of the letters in our Hebrew alphabet and our language. It's very important that our people learn our culture and our language, because we've been taught every other language of the heathens. We've been taught Spanish, we've been taught English, we've been taught all other languages except for the language that truly matters. And that language is the Lashawan Qadash, which means a set apart language. That's what Lashawan Qadash means. It means a holy language or set apart language, because the word holy means set apart. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to go over the alphabets just to start off from scratch. And what I'll do is I'll try to write them as big as possible. My board is pretty large, so I'll write them as large as possible. If you can't see it, say something in the chat. We'll make sure that we adjust the camera or whatnot so that you are able to see the writing on the board. All right, so the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet, again, we'll be writing them in Paleo first, which is the ancient, and then we will write them in the Assyrian. Or what I'll do to make it even easier, I'll do this. I'll put the ancient in one category, how it looks. I'm going to put the sound that that letter makes. We'll also do the definition of each one of the words or the letters, and the illustration. Meaning, what does it mean? Like what, where the idea of the letter came from. So the first letter in the Hebrew language would be the Ah. In the ancient, it's written like this. It's like a open-ended or less than sign with a strike through it. What Adam saw when he wrote or when he made the Ah, I'm going to do ancient and Assyrian. That way we'll be able to do them both, kill them both with one stone. Ancient on one side, and then we'll do the Assyrian on the other side. That way we'll be able to see both, and you'll be able to learn how to write them both, because those that are want to become a trooper in the school, you do have to learn the ancient and the Assyrian Hebrew to be able to pass your officer's test. So this is very important. Also for the sisters and other children in the school, again, like I said, it's important to be able to learn our language, because this language applies to our people. I believe when Yahweh Shai return, we will be speaking our language. We'll be going back to our land. So just basically going back to our culture 100%. All right. So again, the ancient looks like this. We're going to write the Assyrian. The Assyrian looks like that. The sound that it makes is Ah. A-H. Ah. Ah. Adam came up with this, with the Ah. If you can look, if you see it, if you turn your head sideways, it is an ox. The illustration makes an ox. So the Ah sound here, or the Ah, is an illustration of an ox. That is where Adam came up with the idea for the Ah for the Hebrew language. And what it signifies is power and authority. Power and authority. These are the origins of where the Ah sounds come from. It is a depiction of an ox. It represents power and authority, and the sound is Ah, Ah. All right, move it along. The next letter in the Hebrew language is Ba. This is Ba. Do this. Kind of separate the two. Ba. This is what Ba looks like. Ba in the ancient and Ba in the Assyrian. The sound is Ba. B-A. Now, one thing you must understand and remember in the Hebrew language, there are only two vowels, ah or a and I. There's no o, there's no u, there's no e. So those that say shalom, that's not how you say shalom in Hebrew. There is no o in Hebrew. There's other words that you'll hear that people say. I was seeing a video that Officer Hazahab did, and it was saying about the Boker Tov. You know how these Yisraelites, they say, that's how they say good morning, Boker Tov. But the Hebrew way that you say good morning is Bawakwa Tawah. Bawakwa Tawah. There is no O, there is no E, and there is no U in the Hebrew language. All right, so moving on with the Ba. The Ba symbol it looks almost like a sailboat without it being complete. But what Adam saw was a tent. He saw a family or a house. We dwelled in tents. So the meaning or the depiction of the Ba was a house.
It's a lot, your ward.
Fine, sir.
Yeah, man, you definitely doing an excellent job. Baba Kashai, you think you could just move it to the side a little bit so we can see the ox and the house that you draw? Okay, kind. Yeah, I see it.
Perfect, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm assuming probably either move it back a little, or you'll just have to move it from side to side from time to time, so that way we can see the. Oh yeah, I can see the full board just like that.
That's the wall right there, the water.
That's the wild.
All right, both sides of Christ. The water
The
for that,
water
sir.
word.
The water. All right. So that is the Ba. The definition of the Ba, Salakia. I wrote this in the wrong spot. I said it right. The definition is for family and house. The illustration or the depiction that Adam saw when he created Ba was a floor plan of a tent. He saw the floor plan of a tent. And how you might ask, what does that mean? A floor plan of a tent. Some of us are not carpenters or not craftsmen, that look at blueprints of map. It's like he looked down on a map and saw, or looked down and saw the tent, which created the word Ba, or the Salakia, the letter Ba in the Hebrew language. So we got Ba. The next letter in the Hebrew language would be Ga. G-A. Ga. Ga. All right. The definition of the letter Ga in the Hebrew language would be to gather or to walk. And if you look at it, what Adam saw was a foot. He saw was a foot. If you see the leg, some of the letters you may have to turn upside down or sideways to be able to see it, but Adam saw a foot. That is the illustration that he saw, was a foot for the letter Ga. We actually bring this down some, so to line up. And that is Ga. Ga. All right, the next letter. Moving right along. This one here, all Hebrews should know this one. I mean, you should know all of them, but this one here, this one you see more often than not. Some of you can see it right here on my shoulder. This is the Da. The Da. What the Da signifies is move, hang, entrance. It is a doorway. If you look here, like some of you like, well, a door looks like this. Rectangular, straight up and down with a knob on it. Well, back in that time, the door didn't look like that. The door looked like this because it was a tent. And that's what the meaning of this word is, or that is what the illustration that Adam saw when creating the word or the letter Da. He saw tent. All right. And tent, the definition is to move, hang, or entrance. Move, hang, or entrance. And that is the Da in the Hebrew language. So right now we have Abagada. Abagada. The next letter is the Ha. Ha. The letter Ha, it represents, or the definition, it means to look, to reveal, to breathe.
Salakia, boy.
No, sir.
If I could just pause you real quick. You think you can go look on your phone on the stream app and you see the three dots where it says more?
Come on, sir.
If you can click on that and then click on layout.
Got it?
And then just click the first box where it just shows you. So that way you can get a full screen. Would it show you or me?
Shows look like it's showing you to me.
Okay. All right. So yeah, go back to the other layout.
What
I'm
about
gonna try. Go to the second one where it's split in half.
all right, Con, sir.
All right, yeah. You can continue. I'm gonna try to figure it out, boy.
All right, no sweat, sir.
Right, the water.
All right. So the Ha means to look, reveal, or to breathe. And what Adam saw was man raising his arms. Just like this. This is what Adam saw when he created Ha. Man raising arms. Man with raised arms. Man with arm raised. That is the letter Ha. So again, we have Abba, Gada, Ha. The next letter in the Hebrew is the Hebrew language will be Wa. Wa. And Wa It looks like almost like a U with a stick on the bottom in the ancient. In the Assyrian, it's part of it. It doesn't completely look the same, or it is similar. It has the stick, but only a portion of the U on the top on one side, small portion of that. That is the Wa. All right. And the Wa sound, the definition of Wa, it means to add, secure, or to hook. Add, secure, or to hook. And the sign that Adam saw when creating the Wa, it's like a crutch. You ever seen like the nowadays the crutches, they have the flat top and they, two sides going down. But back in the old time, the crutch looked just like this. The sign of a crutch, I'm gonna write it here so you can see. Someone will put their arm in here, and the crutch would probably have something on the bottom to like give it sturdiness. But the crutch would look just like that, and that's what Adam saw when he created the letter Wa in the Hebrew. And the depiction again is the crutch or the peg, P-E-G, peg. They like Esau say that the fantasy world or whatnot. Uh, the pirates have peg legs or the wooden legs or whatnot. That is what Adam saw, which is the peg. So right now in the ancient and the Assyrian, we have Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, and Wa. Make sure you have this written down because I'm about to erase the board and we're going to continue going on. I'm going to erase all of the letters and the definition. So if you do not have it, I'll give you probably about 5-10 more seconds so you can write it down. And while we wait, uh, again, it's very important that we understand and learn our language because everything that we had was stripped from us. Our language was taken from us. Our land was taken from us. Our nationality was taken from us. So the more that you're able to learn these things and be able to gather the fruits that we actually lost, that is what we do in the ISUPK on the Commanding General Yohana. Most High in Christ for that man being able to stand and hold his ground and hold his square and be able to hold our nationality and our culture so that men like myself and other priests and prophets in the ISUPK are able to teach our people so that we'll be able to learn and come back to who we are as a people completely. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and erase these. Hope everybody have it. If you don't, you're able to rewind the video and see what you missed. We'll keep going just for time's sake. Erase all of these. All right. So we went over Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, and that's where we stop on the Wa. The next letter in the Hebrew language is Za. Za. Za is simply a Z. That's where the English language gets their Z from the Za. Za in Assyrian is written almost like the Da. It has like almost a little kick to it at the bottom. It's almost similar to the Da in Assyrian, but it has the kick on the bottom and it doesn't, connect up to the top. So this is the Za. The Za in the definition, or Salakia, the sound is Za. Z-A. The definition is food, cut, or nourish. food, cut, or nourish. All right. So the depiction of the za was the hoe or the plow. Back in the days, it was or it's still right now a tool. Now they have everything with technology, and they don't really use a lot of hand tools. But our Iskarite brothers, they still use hoes or plows to pick those fruits and vegetables in these fields that they work for little to nothing. Most High in Christ for those brothers for being outstanding workers. Uh, Again, in the kingdom of heaven, we'll be able to have all these other nations out in our fields picking our fruits and vegetables so that our brothers can finally get a break from the work that they've done for the white man. Most High in Christ for that. All right. So the za, food, cut, or nourish, and it is matop, a hoe, or a plow. A mattock, a hoe, or a plow.
It's like a priest.
God, sir.
If you could, Baba Kasha, just slow it down just a bit. Got a couple brothers on here, a couple brothers and sisters. I guess they writing it down. You doing an excellent job, though, Warrior. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that one con.
Uh,
The water, sir. I will. I'll slow it down.
most time, correct.
All right. So again, the next letter is za. The ancient, it looks like a Z. And the Assyrian, it's like a swerve on the top, a stick, and then like a kickstand on it. The sound is za. Za. Remember in Hebrew, there's no zay, it's no, the sounds are ah and I. Ah and I. Those are the only vowels or vowel sounds in the Hebrew language. Za. All right. The definition is food, cut, nourish. And the illustration of what Adam saw, he saw a plow or a hoe or a mattock, which was a tool for gardening or for gardening. All right. All right. So moving along, the next letter after za is the ka. Ka. It's not like the K or the ka in my name, Kawan. It's ka. Like you're about to spit up a loogie or something. I know that's how also Taziyard said it. Ha ha. You're trying to get it out the back of your throat. In Hebrew language, we dealt a lot with the sound. I remember also Thawashah taught me that the Hebrew language is the only language that had a certain vibration when it was spoken. So it carried power regardless of how it was. It carried power with the way that it was spoken. So Most High in Christ, the Most High, everything he does is to exhibit his power and his strength. And Barakatah Yahweh shot through the men in the Isupk, we keep that charge going and continue to be able to build on that and show the Lord's power through the priest and the prophet. All right, so the next letter is Ka. 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 It almost looks as though it's a ladder. Right? Let me write it a little different. That is the Ka. Ka. In the Assyrian. What letter does this look like that we've already written? We've written a letter that looks almost like the Ka. That's one thing you have to make sure that you don't get them confused, because the Ka and the Ha, they look almost the same. The difference in the two is the Ha is not connected on the left side. The Ka, it connects all the way, top on both sides. Ha does not. All right. The sound of Ka, which we've already gone over, is Ka. They have Ha. All right. The definition of Ka, like Captain Kataza, is outside, divide, and half. And this information is privy to everybody. So I want everybody to understand that you do have an opportunity to be able to find these same definitions. You'll be able to find the letters and all if you download what is called the Blue Letter Bible, or in your also in your Strong's Concordance, you can find the Hebrew. Uh, but in the BLB, if you download the app, I know for Android and iPhone users, you can download the BLB app, and it can actually show you side by side the English and the Assyrian Hebrew. So when you're reading, like for again, young men, troopers that want to become officers in the ISUPK, you're gonna have to learn to read during Sabbath service, and you're gonna have to read in Assyrian Hebrew. So it's important that you take the time out to go over those things and utilize those tools so that you're able to read fluently. And again, it will help you pass your test. All right. So Ka, what did Adam see when he created the Ka? He saw a wall. Plain and simple. He saw a wall. If you look at this, look at a wall. Wall has bricks. Just without the lines in between, he saw a wall. So the depiction of Ka is a wall. Everybody following along? All right. All right, so let's see. The next letter in the Hebrew alphabet is the Ta, which somewhat looks like, if some of you are like anime followers, or Marvel, Capcom, those kind of comic books and stuff, it looks like an X-Man symbol. The X inside the circle is the Ta in the Hebrew language. That is the letter Ta, written in the Assyrian Ta. Ta looks like this. Let me make the bottom a little straight. It's supposed to be straight across. This is Ta. Ta, Ta, Ta. And what Ta, the definition of Ta is, it means to surround, contain, or mud. The mud part, I haven't gotten that yet, so I'm gonna email one of the brothers. I don't want Officer Thawshad, do you know why it would be defined as mud, sir?
Shit, beats me. One thing I do know, Hebrew do like certain words got more than one meaning.
Karukai.
So depending on the context and how it's used, it could be used for that word. But yeah, I don't really got the full breakdown on that.
Karukai, no sweat, sir. The water. I email either Officer Marshall Mar, Officer Maccabi, or one of the brothers that been helping me, or also Hazahab, to get the understanding on that. All right. And what Adam saw, remember, a lot of the symbols or a lot of the letters that he saw from looking down, or he was able to get it from looking down upon something. This, remember this symbol here with the X, put all this in there, that in there. It was a basket. he saw a basket when creating the letter Ta. Ta is a basket. So again, we have Za, Ka, Ta. Food, cut, nourishment, outside, divide, have, surround, contain, mud. The depictions are a plow, a wall, and a basket. All right. Moving along, the Ya. That is the Ya. Actually, make this smaller. Ya. This is the Ya in the ancient. This is the Ya in the Assyrian. It is the Yad, the Ya. The definition of the word Ya is to work, throw, make, or praise. All right. Ya, work, throw, make, and praise. That is the definition. And again, you can find these in the BLB. If you go to, just put in, wow, now we have to go through words to be able to look it up in the BLB, like Yahweh or Lord, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, and you'll be able to see that the spelling is going to show you in the Assyrian, but it starts with Yah, Yah. And the illustration of the letter Yah is arm and closed hand. Arm and a closed hand. Just like this. How we do, we salute one another. That's what Adam saw when he created the Yah or the Yad. All right. Next letter. It's my favorite letter in the Hebrew alphabet. I mean, you can understand why, but it's the Ka. This is not the same Ka as the Ha. It is Ka, K-A. The reason it's my favorite, it starts with my name. So most high in Christ for that. Ka. And Ka is just like an open hand. It's just an open hand. All right. And it means to bend, open, allow, or to tame. Okay. And again, the illustration that Adam saw was the open palm. It was the open palm. Outside Christ. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat, and I don't want to be able to see them, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you may have concerning the Hebrew alphabet on topic or off topic. But we want to try to kind of stick to what we're going over, so that the other brothers and sisters in the class they'll be able to learn along with us. All right, so that is ka. Again, so we have za, cha, ta, ya, ka. The next letter is the la, la. And in the ancient, it simply looks like an L. Simply looks just like an L. In the Assyrian, I see that most people have a hard time with kind of writing it in the Assyrian, but it's fairly simple. If you take your time, you're gonna write a little slant, straight stick, straight down, one going over, and then you're just gonna loop it over. That is the la in Assyrian. It looks like an L in the ancient, and yeah, it's a lot of curves and slants in the Assyrian, but this is the Assyrian. All right, so and this is la, la. All right, and the la definition, by definition, it means to teach, yoke, bind, or toward. All right, la, to teach, yoke, bind, toward. The meaning or the illustration is the shepherd's staff. It does look like a staff that Aaron or Moses had in the wilderness. And this is what shepherds use while out guiding or instructing, teaching the flock, telling them which way toward, which way to go. And again, the illustration is a shepherd's staff. Shepherd's staff. So we have Za. And while I'm going over these, take your time. If you haven't had the opportunity to write them down, go ahead and write them down now because I am going to erase the board so we can continue with the letters. I write fairly big so that everybody is able to see and so that it's visible to everybody that's watching and paying attention. So Za in the ancient, the sound is za, za, za. Not za, not zay, za, za. Food, cut, or nourishment, mattock, hoe, or a plow, a garden tool. Ha, ha. Remember, it comes like it's coming out of the back of your throat, like you're trying to get it out. You got to get that cold up or something. Ha, 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 ha. And I hear, some of y'all say Captain Kataza. That's not how you say his name. It's Captain Kataza. You have to emphasize the ha in his name. The definition is outside, divide, or divide in half. And it is a depiction of a wall. All right. The next one is ta, which looks like the X-Man sign. That's what, I described it as, because that's what it reminds me of. It's basically an X inside of a circle. And it is ta, not te, not ta, ta, ta. Surround, contain, or mud. Again, I'm going to find out about that mud because that's very interesting to me. I want to know maybe because they use mud to surround or to to build the houses and stuff. That could be it, but in ISUPK we don't go by what we assume. We want to get the information so that we know exactly what it means. So I will be reaching out to one of the men above me to find out why ta is defined as with mud. So it is a depiction of a basket. All right. All right. So in the ancient, the next word is ya. The next letter is ya. 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 Work, throw, make, praise. and it is an arm and closed hand. Ka, ka. This one is ka. This one is not ha. Ka. It means to bend, open, allow, or detain. Open palm. La, la. To teach, yoke, bind, toward, shepherd staff. The depiction of a shepherd staff. All right, so we're going to go ahead and erase all of these. We'll move on to the next section of letters in the Hebrew alphabet. Again, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them. We don't have the answer. We will find the answer for you. And hopefully next week in class, Lord allow, we'll be able to provide that answer to you if we don't know it already. All right. So we left off on la, on la. The next letter in the Hebrew language would be ma, ma, which is M-A, ma. And it looks like this. Looks like a W and a U, a W and a Y combined. Small W connected to a Y. That's how it looks in the ancient. In the Assyrian, looks quite different. It almost looks like another letter that we've gone over. It is similar to another letter that we have already gone over. Can anybody put in the chat what letter that is? Let me see if anybody's paying attention. Put in the chat what letter does the ma in the Assyrian look like another letter in Hebrew? Can anybody tell me? I know some of y'all like that Hebrew scholars. We haven't too long went over. Anybody? All right, no sweat. The ma looks like the sa, the salaki, the ta. The ta looks like this. That's why you have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be careful when reading the Hebrew, because they can be real tricky. Good job. Somebody said ha. No, it don't look like the ha. The ha looks like this. In the Assyrian, the ha would look like this. Well, you got a point. Okay, I see what you mean. It just don't connect here, and it don't have a bottom. So Michael Ephraim, you are correct in that aspect, but the one that I was looking for was the ta. It almost looks like the ta, just with the open end on the top. And when you're reading the Assyrian or the Assyrian in the Torah, you won't see ha look like the ma. The ma in the Assyrian, it more so looks like a box. But good guess though, good job. Excellent job. All right. So the ma in the Hebrew, the definition is chaos, mighty, or blood. Chaos, mighty, or blood. Blood. And it is a depiction of water. Adam saw water when he created the ma. He saw water. I would assume like the waves would be like this, the top part. I believe that this is what he saw from the top. You remember he saw a lot of things from above looking down upon it. And that's how he created a lot of the Hebrew letters. Make this a little smaller so I can get as many as I can in this time. want to try to finish them out. All right. So that is the ma, which means or is a depiction of water. Water, ma. All right. The next letter is the na. And na just really looks like an N with a hook on the bottom. And it looks like a backwards E or like I don't want to say Roman because we don't look nothing like them, but it looks like a backwards E or a sideways M or W. And that is the na, na, N-A, na. And what the na represents, or is defined as, is continue, an heir or a son. My bun is my heir or my son. Or son. Bun. All right, na, na. And what Adam saw, or the depiction of what he saw when creating the na, he saw sprouting seeds. The seed comes out of the ground. I guess he saw how it sprouted out of the ground and created the almost flower look or coming up out of the ground. So he saw a sprouting seed. And you guys should understand or know that the Hebrew language is not hard at all. It's fairly simple, but it does have many of the words that we use. They have a lot of different meanings, and they're used in different contexts. That's why in the Isupk we teach that context is very important because it is. Because most words that are used in the ancient or in the Hebrew, they could mean more than one thing. All right. All right. Marcus said, Salakia, sir, if I may. What is the name of the ancient Hebrew in Hebrew? Oh, Satawashah, do you know that? Okay, what you mean? What is the name of the language in Hebrew? Is Lashawan Qadash, which means set apart language. That is what that is what the ancient Hebrew is in Hebrew. Lashawan Qadash here at the top. It is the set apart or the holy language. That's what it is. And maybe a few classes in, we'll break that down. I'll write it out in the Paleo and in the Assyrian if you want to see it. Once we're done with the letters here, if we have time, I will go over that for you just to let you see it if that's what you want. No sweat. No sign of Christ. All right. So after the na, it's sa. Sa. Sa almost looks like a fence, like barbed wire of some sort. And the definition of sa, S-A, sa, is grab, hate, and to protect. See what I mean about it? It can mean a lot of different things. It means to grab. So sa, I can grab and protect, which those two, go together. But then it says to hate as well. So Sa, hate. I guess that's why. No, I don't think so because that's not Hebrew. Again, won't be guessing on this show. Salaki. All right, and the illustration is the throne. Somebody could look up the word throne for me and see what that means. If you could, I don't want to. If you could, Baba Kasha, sir, you look up the word throne, Trone, Baba Kasha.
All right, come on, give me 1 second.
The water, sir. So Sa in the ancient and in the Assyrian is Sa, S-A, not say, not Sa, not Sa, Sa means to grab, hate, protect. And the illustration is a throne. And we're going to look up that word throne to see what the definition is to get a better depiction of exactly what it is that Adam saw when creating the letter Sa in the Hebrew. Art Marcus, uh, it's not embarrassing to be able to you were trying to find your language, but you have to look at it like this, man. Most High in Christ that you were able to come into the Isupk, get under men that will teach you the correct way to write the Hebrew language and to be able to learn it the correct way. See, a lot of things, a lot of us were taught incorrectly in fake Israelite groups. We were taught incorrectly out on our own, trying to be uh, individualites and all of that nonsense. But you have to look at it from a different point of view as Most High in Christ, man. That now you can learn the correct way how to write and how to read and how to speak the Lord's holy language.
Yeah, I'm right.
All right, the water for that baby girl. So like I said,
Okay, yeah, I see the sister that put it up.
kind of one kind.
It's basically a spring balance. Um, what it says, a form of weighing machine or a large scale.
Ah, okay. So a balance or a scale. All right, Most High in Christ. The water for that, sir, and the water for that, Amakia. All right.
And if I could, Officer Kawan,
Oh,
to
thank
add
you,
on
sir.
the point you were saying about the Hebrew, man, if you really, how you were saying about one word can have different meanings, if you understand the spirit behind it, because this is a truly a black language, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And us as a people, being blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we speak and slang in our neighborhoods all day.
Done
You know
that
what I'm
on
saying? We
time.
can have one word and it can mean a ton of different things. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That's how you know that we spiritually are the people of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? By the way we talk and address one another is no different from the ancient Hebrew. You know what I'm saying?
Done
So
that on time.
that was very heavy what you brought out.
Done on time, sir. The water. Most High in Christ. All right. So moving along after Sa, the next letter is I. Oh, I'm writing it like I'm saying it. Salaki. Next letter is I. And written it is I. It is a circle in the ancient I. And in the Assyrian, it looks almost like a deer or a reindeer or something with antlers and like a Y. So, but the definition of it is to watch, to know. What Adam saw when he did eye simply was an eye, the eye of your skull. to watch, to know, shade. And just like Salaki, like Adawan was just saying, like a lot of our words, they mean a lot of different things. We wouldn't know that I in the Hebrew meant shade when we be out here talking about, oh, you throwing shade or this and that, you know what I mean? Or you sitting under a shade tree. They mean different things, but we say them as though, you know what I mean? We say them the same exact way, but they mean totally different things. All right. And what Adam saw again was an eye. So again, we have ma, na, sa, I. I pray by the end of, Lord willing, a few weeks down the line, we'll all be able to say the Hebrew alphabet as fast as men like Osa, Hazahab, and other brothers who have taken the time to study and showed us before us. All right. So after I, we have Pa. Pa in the ancient looks like a J. It looks like a capitalized J almost. In the Assyrian, it looks like an upside down G. That's how I remember. The water, Michael Ephraim. I seen it. The water for that. No sweat. All right. So the Pa, P-A, Pa looks like a capital J in the ancient and an upside down G. That's too big. Let's save a little room. An upside down G in the Assyrian. And the letter Pa, it means open, blow, scatter, and edge. And what Adam saw, what do you, I'm gonna ask this then. I'm gonna ask this question. What do we open more than anything? And what do we use to blow? What do you think the illustration of the letter Pa is? Can anybody tell me? Shalom Yabashim Shabbat Kathah, Adawan, also Kazak. What do you think the depiction of the letter Pa is that Adam saw? Now remember the definition: open, blow. What the pastors use to scatter the sheep of the Lord. What does Christ said that the word is sharper than a double-edged sword? I pretty much gave it to you right there. What is the depiction that Adam saw when he created Pa? Can anybody put it in the chat, Baba Kashab? The letter Pa. I'll give you a few seconds. Anybody? You see any Adawan?
No, I guess you give him a little more time. If not, you can go right ahead.
Give me a few more seconds. It's pretty self-explanatory. Marcus said the tongue, Salaki, La'ah, but that's close. That's real close, real close. You right there. Just think about it. Open, blow. Pastors use it to scatter. And Christ said that the word is as a double-edged sword. Think about the depiction that Adam saw. Look at it. What does that look like? Anybody else? Well, Marcus, you can get a shot at it again if you want. I give you 20 seconds. Baby girl Matia said horn. La Good guess though. That's a good guess. We use it to warn the people. Y'all close. I mean, very close. 5 more seconds. All right. I'm gonna give it to you. It's the mouth. It's the mouth. The mouth is what Adam saw when he created the letter Pa. And I see y'all, Marcus, don't sweat. You can open your mouth and look at it. It's like an open mouth. You open your mouth, you can almost see. You have to use your imagination a little bit. Adam had to use his imagination when creating these. He had to think outside the box a little bit, but he made it simple as well. So the letter Pa is a depiction of a mouth. Good job, y'all. All right. Next is Taza. And Taza in the ancient is basically, I'll rewrite it so you can see. Taza, stick, and then on the stick looks like a Z, a small or lowercase z. No sweat. It's all right. Y'all remember that our language, the things that we do is spiritual. So you have to think in the spirit. You have to look at things in a spiritual aspect. And Lord willing, he'll reveal it to you so you'll be able to see. But Taza is a stick with a small Z in ancient. Now in the Assyrian, it looks funny, but it looks almost like the eye. You see how I did that? Yeah, you can pretty much see it on the camera pretty clear. Yeah, it looks almost like the eye, but it's like a backwards Y. It's crazy. All right. So the Taza or the Taza, like Captain Tazaria or Tazadakia or Tazawan or Tazawa. Let's see here. It means, right here, Salaki. Taza. 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 It's Taza. All right. And it means the journey. Chase. Or the hunt. Some mighty men with this here in the beginning of their name. I'm Christ. And the depiction what Adam saw was a trail. All right. Everybody see that? Might be able to get one more down at the bottom, or let's see how many we got. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go ahead and rewrite them. Again, just to recap once again. So we have in the ancient, Ma, Na, Sa, I, not I. Hear a lot of people saying when you're doing the sister greeting, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Il Atah, that's incorrect. It's Yahweh Shamar Il Atah. Il. You have to use the correct sound or pronunciation of the Hebrew language. And I sounds like I. Pa and Taza. Taza. So Ma means chaos, mighty, blood. The illustration was water. Na, meaning continue, air, and a sun. He saw a sprouting seed, which makes sense. A man's seed is his heir, is what continues his lineage, his son. Sa means to grab, hate, protect, or throne. And the word throne, when we looked it up, it means to, Salagi, sir.
It was a
It
scale.
means a scale or a weight. Ka,
Mm-hmm.
means a scale or a weight. And you can see it's almost like a balancing of here. And that's probably where the Romans and the Babylonians now they get their scale of justice from. But the Most High got another kind of justice for them that's on the way. Bro, I can tell you how you have a shot for that. All right, and the eye, watch, no shade. The depiction was an eye, circle of the eye. The pa was open, blow, scatter, edge. And we saw that the depiction was a mouth. And Tazah. Tazah is a journey, chase, and hunt, with the depiction that Adam saw was trail. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase it. I think like Tazah more than Ma. I think like Tazah, journey, hunt. I don't know. I don't understand what you mean by that, Marcus. He said, I think like Tazah more than Ma. LOL.
I think he just saying he likes the letter more than the other one.
God. God.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So moving along. Let me tell y'all, when I was back in the world, man, I used to always want to learn a secondary language. I used to always, and Spanish was always the one. I mean, I don't know why, but I guess because it was more of the or most of the people that I was around, they could speak bilingual Spanish. I hung around a lot of Israelites, some Puerto Rican brothers, Ephraimite, Salakia, and I always wanted to speak a second language. So when I came into the Isupk and I learned that I could learn Hebrew, man, I used to be on Officer Hazahar channel every week on Friday. I used to be the first. I used to try to be the first one in class so that I could learn our language. I was so enthused and excited about learning a new language. So every chance you get where I can say "Khan" out of one "Khan," or I could say "How about Shem Yao Shabrakatah," or I can say "How Shema by Shem by Hashem Yahushua." Whenever we could use our language and be able to speak it fluently, and other people looking at you like you're crazy, it's great to me, because I always was looking crazy when the Hispanic brothers around me and they go to speak and I'm like, I know this nigga ain't talking about me. I know he ain't good. And she just said something real slick. Look how she walking up. And I used to always wonder what they were saying. But now I can do the same thing in our language, and it feels good, you know what I mean, to be able to speak a language that belongs to us. Most High in Christ. All right. So we got a few more for the alphabet, and then we'll try to get into some numbers as well. All right. So we left off after Tazah. Next one is Kwa. Qua. The qua almost looks like a shovel. It's like a shovel standing straight up, like a shovel. Qua. And in the Assyrian, they do their own thing. It's a heathen. Salaga, sir, is that somebody asked me that? I think my lady asked me that the other night about the Assyrian. Would that be considered a heathen language or a heathen version of our language? Is that to say a heathen version?
Well, we got it when we went in captivity, and learning their languages, it kind of infused with ours and
Okay.
trying to maintain our culture. You know what I'm saying? We got a little block pattern from the actual pictures that was given to Adam and that Adam had and Moses had and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it does have to do with us going into captivity and learning from other nations. You know what I'm saying? But it's still the Hebrew though. It's just the modern day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Moses would not understand that Assyrian if it was written down in front of him. You get what I'm saying? Because what he was going by is what you teaching right now. You know what I'm
Con,
saying?
that
He was
was
going
cool.
by that ancient. You know what I'm saying?
All right, con. So would it be safe to say that that's heathen?
Yeah, you could say that, heathens definitely influence, you know what I'm saying, the coming about of the Assyrian.
Con that one con. All right. Most high in Christ. The water, sir.
Most High.
All right. So we're on Qua, which looks like an upside down shovel and a stick with a swirl on it. Um, and the definition is circle. Revolution. I like that. Qua is revolutionary. Condense and time. Circle, revolution, condense, and time. Qua. So back in those days, remember what how did we observe time and how did we recognize what time it was? Can anybody think or what it was that was Adam was depicting from Qua? Remember, just look at the definition: circle, time. Remember those two. Most important: circle and time. I wouldn't say Salakia. I understand what you're saying, Marcus. Khan, the ancient Hebrew is more like pictures. They are somewhat similar to hieroglyphics. That would be a good way of describing it. Uh, they are pictures. Basically, that's what they are. But they were put into a language which formed our language, the Hebrew language. And Amatyath, that is correct. It is by the sun. We were able to tell the time, and the circle was by the sun. And what Adam saw was sun at the horizon. Good job. Excellent. I'm sorry, in Christ. Qua, sun at the horizon. All right. After the Qua, we have Ra. Ra just looked like a four almost, like a regular four. And for the Assyrian, let me write that different. Write the wrong way. Writing the regular R. It almost looks like an R. So the ancient, it looks like a four. All right. This is Ra. Ra. Not Ray, not Ra. 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 And the definition of Ra is head, first, top, and beginning. Ra. And the depiction that Adam saw was the head of man. He saw the head of man. Ra. Head, first, top, beginning, the head of man. All right. After Ra, we have Shah. We have Shah. And Shah is written in the ancient, almost it's just like a W. In the Syrian, it's close to, it's just written a different way. It is Shah. Shah. The definition is sharp, press, eat, and two. Anybody can tell me by looking at the picture and reading the definition, what did Adam depict Shah from? I'll give you a couple minutes to type it in the chat. What did Adam depict Shah from? Remember, looking at the ancient, looking at the picture, like Marcus said, the pictures. Get the picture and the definition and see what the illustration or the depiction of the letter Shah was that Adam had. Type it in the chat. A fork. Michael Ephraim said a fork. That's close, That's close. Good job, but that's not it. And I see where you would get that from. I can see that. But look at this. Look at the picture of does the fork. This is what a fork look like though. Fork is the other way. Look at it. Just think about. Yep, Amatya said the same thing. Fork. Y'all almost on it. You're going by the definition. Eat. I think the sharp is what's getting y'all to think about a utensil or something like that. But think about it. Look at it like this. Pa represented what? A mouth, right? Ra represents the head of man. Shah, just look at it. Give it another guess. Something that's sharp. You eat, and there's two of them. A fork has three. Michael Ephraim said a battle axe. This is a battle axe right here. Let me see if I can write it right. Yeah, I do these all day on these shirts. That's a battle axe like that. And that I can see why you would say that. But I'm going to give it to y'all. Some good guesses, though, man. Real good guesses. Most High in Christ. But they are the two front teeth. They're the two teeth. That's all it is, the two front teeth. It ain't really the front teeth. You know how you got the canines, the fangs? Two front teeth is what it say. And I guess we wouldn't have been able to get that one because most people, two front teeth, they're straight. But he could have been referencing your canines. All right.
Salaki.
Sir.
If I may, man, you're doing a hell of a job. It's kind of what you mentioned before. You know what I'm saying? Adam was coming up with these letters based upon what he seen. You know what I'm saying? He drawing these pictures, trying to make it. That's why the brother is writing the illustration with the word. You know what I'm saying? Because these are all pictures. You know what I'm saying? Adam is looking at waves. He's looking at somebody's head. He's looking at somebody's teeth. He's looking at his hand, and he's coming up with these letters. So that's how that come about. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned that earlier too. You know what I'm saying?
Come, sir. Damn right. Most High in Christ. Yeah, it's like, it's like Adam want to say, Adam is looking at it from his perspective. The Most High gave him the ability to look at whatever he saw and to create his language, create his wholly separate language. and by the things that Adam would laid his eyes upon, is how he came up with our language, with the Hebrew language. Amatia, she say you would not be good at charades, Salaki, sir. I'm actually really good at charades, but that's another topic. Lord of Christ. Good night. He said, I would not be good at it. This is different. All right, so we have the Shah, and the last letter in the Hebrew language is the Ta. Ta. Can anybody tell me what other two letters in the Hebrew language that Ta looks like? Ta. This one here. What other two letters in the Hebrew language does Ta look like? Look at your notes. Take a look at your notes. I told you, Aunt Marcus, he say, yeah, what he see out of one, I'm seeing something way different. Most I cry, but you remember what I told you, it's spiritual, Aunt. It's the spirit that Adam was in when he was looking at these things. He came up with these things based off of his perception. And Amatya, that is correct. The ha and the cha. On your cha, it got to be Chaa. Ha. The ha, it looks like this with an open top. Right there in the open. Right here is the open. On the cha, good job, Michael Ephraim. Ha. He said ha. Ha is this with a closed top. See, the top there is closed. On the ha, it's open. On the ta, it's open. I mean, it's closed as well. But on the ta, it has almost like a kickstand. It almost has like a kickstand on the bottom, which makes it different from the ha and the ka. Excellent job, y'all. Good job. Way to pay attention. Sign Christ. All right. So the definition of the word of the letter ta is mark, a sign, a signal, or a monument. See, I tell y'all, Esau, he get a lot of this stuff from us. If you think about it, this right here, it's like how they have the flag stuck in the ground at an angle. It's a signal or a mark or a monument to them. This is what Adam saw when he came up with Ta. It was a monument. This is a stake. This is our land. This is a signal to let everyone know that Israel, this is our place. This is, well, at the time, Adam, this is where the Most High, this is the Most High's land. This is his place. It was a signal or a monument or a sign, a mark to let those know. And the illustration that he saw was crossed sticks.
Like X marks the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Excellent explanation of it. The water. Cross sticks. X does mark the spot. This belongs to the Most High. It's not yours. Heathens get back. So the last set that we've covered here is the qua, which means or is defined as circle, revolution, condense in time, and the illustration that Adam saw was the sun at the horizon. We've gone over the Ra, which is the head, first, top, and the beginning, and the head of man. The Shah is defined as sharp, press, eat, and two. It was the two front teeth that Adam saw. And the Tha, which was a mark, a sign, a signal, or a monument. and he saw two cross sticks. So that, I'm going to go ahead and erase all of this here. That is the complete alphabet of the ancient Hebrew and in the Assyrian. And it is Abagada Hawa Salaga. Abagada Hawa Salaga. Abagada Hawaza Ha Taya Ka Lamana Sa I Pa Taza Kwa Ra Sha Ta. Again, Abagada Ha Waza Ha Taya Kalama Na Sa I Pa Taza Kwa Ra Sha Ta. Go ahead and erase it. All right. We got about 30 minutes left, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over some Hebrew numbers. I'm going to go over 1 through 10. We're going to write them in the ancient, and we can write them in the Assyrian as well. All right. We're going to start here. Do this. Write it again. All right. We're going to do numbers 1 through 10. Got enough room. I should have wrote that more this way. We'll do the first 6 first, and then we'll do the last 4 after that. All right. Lock it 1 second. Pull this up. Get my picture here. All right. Anyone in the group could tell me what the first number, the number 1, what is the number 1 in Hebrew? You type it in the chat. Type it in English. What is the first letter or the first word, the word that means 1 in Hebrew? I'll give you a hint. One of the Adawanim got some of the baddest songs in Israel. His name means first or 1. Some of the hot fire in Israel. Anybody want to take a shot at it in the group? The number 1. Give you a few more seconds. Then I'm going to give it to you for time's sake. The number 1 in Hebrew. Write it in English. Most High in Christ, Amathia. It is a card. A card. I don't know why some of y'all brothers couldn't get that. I said the hot fire music in Israel. Captain Akkad has the most fire tracks in Israel right now. And, you know, Captain Ty Ward, Captain Kataza, they got some blazing too. The Captain Akkad, I don't think nobody want no smoke with that. Most High in Christ for that brother. All right, so a card. All right, and how you would write a card in Hebrew, you got to write, remember, with writing Hebrew, you want to write from right to left. It's not from left to right like you would write the English. It's from right to left. So a card, I'm going to write it in the paleo. Let's see here. Ka. Da. Ka, the. The and these are connectors. You want to put connectors so you'll know how to pronunciate a word. The is by itself. We're going to separate them a little bit so you can see. See, by itself, A-H. Ka and cud, yeah. The cud, put a connector here because they connect to one another because the da does not have the A on the end. The A is silent, which makes these two connect. Cod, 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 cod. All right. I'll write it in the Assyrian too, real quick. Cod. Same thing. Now with the Assyrian, you do not have to put the connectors. Some of you will see, like when you read the Assyrian in the Torah for Sabbath service or for high holy days, that they have a lot of dots and other things that go on with how they write their letters. But when we write it, you do not have to put the connectors to it, only in the ancient, so that you'll know what letter or what letter goes or connects with the other letter for pronunciation. All right. The next letter, again, one is achad, achad, achad. All right. The next number. Anybody know what number 2 is? Can anybody type what 2 is in ancient Hebrew? In English. You can write it in English, like 2. Most High Christ out, Marcus. Can anybody write the number 2 in the Hebrew? I give you a minute or two. And these words that you'll learn in the Hebrew class, don't just write them in a book and put your book up somewhere. And then next Friday we come back to it. You write them again, and then you put the book somewhere. Some time that you have downtime, the scripture said that a wise man learned in his downtime. That's paraphrasing. In your leisure is when a wise man learns, when you become wise. So take the time to study these words, to study the ancient Hebrew so that you can become fluent. So when you're out and you hear brothers that say, brothers like Salakia, like Adawanyams, like General Q, who speaks excellent Hebrew, Officer Hazahar, those brothers, they can speak Hebrew very well. And, like I said, I've learned from them. And when you hear them speaking it, you'll be able to understand the words that they're saying. All right. So I'll go ahead and give it to you for time's sake. Shanya. Shanya. Shanya is the number 2 in Hebrew. Shanya. Shanya. Where you're going to separate it? You're going to separate the Shan and the Ya. Shanya. The way you write Shanya in the Paleo is the Sha and the Na, Shan, Ya. Shan, Ya. You see there? You look at your alphabets that you just wrote. The Sha, the Na make Shun, and the Ya by itself. See how it's separated? Shun, Ya. Be able to write it in the ancient, simply write like this. Shanya. Shanya. And maybe next week we'll go over some prepositions, which meaning the placement of some of the letters in the Hebrew. They, like I said, they have different meanings. If they're placed in different places, they're also written different. So, and I should have went over that when I was doing the alphabet, but we'll go over that maybe next week, Lord allow. We'll be able to go over that to understand the different placements and the different letters in the Hebrew that are changed or are different when placed in different locations in a word. All right. So the third, or the number 3, the word in Hebrew, shalash. Shalash. Shah, lash. We'll separate it from the shah and the lash. The shah so like it for that. Shah, lash. Connected is the lash. La and shah. Shah, lash. And that is the number 3 in Hebrew. Shah, lash. We'll write it in the Assyrian as well. Remember that L, that crazy looking thing. Shah, lash. Shalash. That is the number 3. Anybody have any questions? Everything making sense? The number 3, shalash. All right. So the number 4 is arabai. Rabbi. Arabai. Now, when writing the Hebrew in English, it doesn't necessarily have to be capitalized or lowercase. It doesn't matter. It's just the pronunciation of the word that truly matters. So, arabai, arabai. Separated. You have ra, and the bai. 3 different separations. Ra, bai. So anybody want to tell me, does any of these 4 letters, do any of them connect? And where do they connect? Can anybody tell me? Rabbi. And you can tell me by putting in the chat the Hebrew letters that connect. The 2 Hebrew letters that connect. Rabbi. Come on, I need y'all young men to be quicker than the sister now. Don't let her whoop y'all. Rabbi. Yeah, a few more seconds. Rabbi. Where's the connector that connects 2 of those letters? Anybody? All right. So for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and show you the by itself, the ra is by itself, and the by is where they connect. The ba and the I. Ba and I is where the connectors go. Those two are together. Ba and I. All right. Writing in the Syrian. Rabbi. Rabbi. All right. Now to number 5. Hamash. Hamash. Remember, when using the letter ha, you have to make that sound out of the back of your throat. Hamash. 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 All right. So to separate Hamash, Ha, and Mach. Hamach. Hamach. And the way that we write that, this is the ancient. Ha, ha, mach. The ka by itself and the mach, they connect. Ha, mach. You write it in the Assyrian. Oops, like writing ha. Ha, fully connected. Ma, it's open. Remember the open spot here on the ma. Ha, ma. In this location, the ma must be left open at the bottom. Ha, ma. Ha, ma. Ha, ma. All right. For the number 6, Shasha. Sha, sha. That's exactly how you can separate. Shasha. Pretty simple. Sha, sha. Sha and the sha. In the ancient or the Assyrian, Salaki. Shasha. Shasha. All right. So for the number 1, we have Achad. Achad, like Captain Achad. And in the ancient and in the Assyrian. The number 2, Shanya. Shanya. The ancient and in the Assyrian. The number 3, Shalash. Shalash. Remember, it's all about the pronunciation of the words in the Hebrew. You do not want to say shalash or shalash. Well, shalash is correct. You do not want to say shalash. That would not be correct. That's not properly said. Shalash. The la. Ah. The A sound is ah. Shalash. In the ancient and in the Assyrian. The number 4, Arabai. Arabai. And if you ever have trouble like pronouncing words in English that are Hebrew, break them up. Take your time, look at them, and break them down. You can break them up just like we did here. Arabai. In the ancient and in the Assyrian. You know, they're kind of close together, but I think you guys get the picture. No sign of Christ. All right. The number 5, Chamach. 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 In the ancient and in the Assyrian. So number 5. The number 6, Shasha. Shasha. In the ancient and in the Hebrew. I mean, in the Assyrian. And again, broken down so that you can understand it bit by bit. All right. If you have this, put a 1 in the chat. If you have everything, put a 1 in the chat so I know I can move on. Baba Kashab. If you have what I have on the board, if you can put a 1 in the chat so that I can erase the board. I don't see any ones. That means people still writing. If you're still writing, I'll wait. But if you're finished, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not finished, put a 2 in the chat. Baba Kashab. You're done writing what I have on the board, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not, put a 2 in the chat if you need more time. Achad, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai, Hamak, and Shasha. All right, I guess everybody done went to sleep on me. I still see some people in the chat. I mean, in the platforms, but I'm gonna go ahead and erase it, and we'll move on to the last 4. For the sake of time, we're almost out of time. Make sure we get all 10 of them done tonight. Or willing. So that is 1 through 6 in the ancient, the Assyrian, and in English. All right. So number 7. We have 7, 8, 9, and 10. The number 7. The number 7 is Shabai. 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 Separate it just like this. Shabai. That's how you get separated. All right. In the ancient, Shabai. Shabai. And in the Assyrian. Shabai. Shabai. All right. The number 7 in Hebrew is Shabai. Shabai. All right, moving along to number 8. Shamawana. Shamawana. Sha. Ma. Wa. Na. Shamawana. Sha. Ma. Wa. Up select. Wa. Na. Shamawana. Shamawana. Sha. Ma. Wa. Na. Shamawana. The Sha is by itself, as it's broken down. The Ma, the Wa, and Na. Shamawana. Shamawana. I'm gonna have to write the Assyrian up under it because I don't have a room. The number 8 is a pretty long Hebrew number. I mean Hebrew name, or written out in English. Shamawana. So the Assyrian looks like this. Shamawana. Shamawana. All right. The number 9, the Shai. the shy. The shy. Split it right in half. The and the shy. The shy. The way that you write it in ancient and in the Assyrian, again, remember to break it up and it'll make it easier for you. The, which is the mark or the signal or the monument, the, by itself, shy. You got the sha and the I. And they connect. They're together. Shy. The shy. The shy. I'm going to write it over here a little bit so I can have some room. The shy. It almost looked like the word two written backwards. Almost. All right. And in the Assyrian, the, remember the got the little kickstand on it. Shy. The shy. The shy. Last but not least, number 10, Salakia, Aishara. You know how we say the 10th in Hebrew? Ma'aishara. Ma'aishara. But for the number 10, it's just Aishara. Aishara. I-sha-ra. I-sha-ra. Aishara. The water art, Marcus, appreciate it. All right, Aishara. So the I, the sha, and the ra. You can do these just like this. Neither one of them have a connector because they all can stand alone. I, sha, ra. And in the Assyrian, a funny looking eye, the box looking sha, and the ra. I, Shara. I, Shara. So we've gone over 7 through 10, Shabai, in the ancient and in the Assyrian, Shamawana, the ancient and the Assyrian, the Shai, in the ancient and the Assyrian, and Aishara. So you hear this one a lot, Aishara, Aishara, which is the number 10. All right, so we've gone over the alphabet today, the origins of the alphabet, the numbers 1 through 10 in Assyrian and in Paleo Hebrew. With that, Salakia, sir, should I just salute out or?
Khan, if you got the security announcements, you can go ahead and read that, and then if you want to salute out, so it's up to you.
Another one, Khan, sir. Let me pull those up. The water for everybody that tuned in tonight. The ISUPK security announcements for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'aishara. We just went over that. Aishara. Ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the school by going on isupk.com. You can pay through PayPal or direct through your debit or credit card, or you could do it on Cash App, which is $UPK Tides with an S. Again, that's $UPK Tides with an S. That is the school handle for Cash App. And you can pay your tithes through that. Priest Fund, which is a free will offering for priests, is not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. All right, up and coming holy convocations. The Feast of Purim is coming up at the end of this month. It is the 14th and 15th day of the 12th month, which is February the 25th and 26th. We will be gathering down in Riviera Beach at the school to enjoy the festivities and the holy day for the Most High. Um, Come down, congregate with your brothers, man. Have a good time, drink, enjoy the brotherhood and the sisterhood of the ISUPK. It's always amazing to see the brothers and sisters come through. Next week, we also have General Muhammad coming through. He'll be here from Wednesday to Monday of the following week. Come out, man. See if you want to seek counsel. The general will be doing counseling. He's coming down here to Florida he said, to put in work to help build up the school. And Most High in Christ for that. The men above us, they teach us a hell of a lot. And it's a blessing that he's coming through next week. So if you're in the area, come through. Come join us. Let's see. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarf. Before I salute out, also ISUPK Florida, No Cowards. We have classes Monday through Friday now on our No Cowards channel and on our No Cowards YouTube channel. You can catch Officer Kazak Damar on Mondays with the milk class at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then Black Watch following after that is a milk class. On Tuesday, we have Brotherhood class down at the school. I believe, isn't that the day also that Officer Yehiza is doing a class, sir?
Obviously, High's going to be doing Wednesday, and I'm going to be doing
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Okay, you're doing Tuesday, sir?
I'm going to do Tuesday.
Okay. And Officer Thomas one of the main men in Florida, said my nigga 10 toes down forever. Be doing a Brotherhood class on Tuesday nights, same channel, same time, starting at 7 o'clock. The Hebrew class will start at 7:30 next week. On Wednesday nights, you can catch Officer Yehiza teaching the law class. On Thursday night, as we all know, tune in to General Muhammad or the school headquarters for the scripture breakdown, followed by Cross the Line Radio. And then on Fridays, again, the Hebrew class. I'll be back in here with y'all, breaking down some more Hebrew on Fridays at 7:30. All right, and with that, we want to do a salute. With that, I say, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Barakatah.
To the sisters, Yahweh Shema Alatah by Hashem Yahweh Shah. With that, I say shalom. We got an ISUPK on the 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana.
Man, it's a wild class, boy.
The water, Adawan.